Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm very excited because I'm going to be glamming up one of my clients. Today we are going for a very prom grad type look. So I am first starting off with the Glam Glow Starter. This is just like a nice hydrating primer and moisturizer. And I'm just applying it all over her face with a duo fiber brush. So next I'm just going to go in and fill in her brows a little bit. She already has beautiful brows, so I don't have to do a ton to them. So I'm just taking the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil in the shade 3 and just lightly filling them in. Once I have her brows all nice and filled in, I'm just going to take a little bit of a concealer and I'm going to use this to kind of clean up her brows a little bit, make them look a little bit more sharp and defined. I'm also going to take the concealer all the way on her eyelid and use this as an eyeshadow base. I like to do this because it'll help the eyeshadows look more pigmented and it'll also help it last longer as well. I always like to take a little bit of a powder and set the concealer that I put on the eyelid just so there's no creasing throughout the day. So sometimes I'll use just like a translucent powder, but in this case, I'm going in with the shade Fresh from the Anastasia Sultry palette. It's just a nice neutral kind of cream shade, and I'm just applying that on a big fluffy brush all over the eyelid. I also forgot to set her brows, so I just quickly went back in with the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter just to keep those brows in place and to help it from smudging or moving throughout the day. Now back to eyeshadow, I'm going in with the shade Birch from the same palette, and I'm just starting to apply this in the outer crease and then up into the crease as well. I'm starting off in really slow little circles, and then once there's less product on my brush, I kind of start to blend it out from there. I'm going in with the shade Twig now just to kind of deepen up that outer just a little bit and kind of cool it down. So I'm just applying it basically in the exact same place I applied the previous color and just kind of blending them together to get kind of the nice shade that I'm looking for. I'm focusing most of the color on the outer corner of her eye and trying to keep the inner corner nice and bare. Because now I'm going to go in with a little bit of a concealer and do a bit of a cut crease. So my little tip for cut creases is I get the client to look up, and that kind of gives a good little outline of where the cut crease should be on that client. It's the most suitable, I would say, for their particular eye shape. Of course, you can go and just create whatever kind of eye look cut crease you would like, but this is the way that I find it looks the most natural. And now for the star of the show, I'm going in with the Huda Beauty Matte and Melted Eyeshadow, and I'm taking the shade Froyo. It's just like a really nice kind of cool toned pink, and I'm just applying that right where I kind of made that outline of the cut crease. This is just going to give a very nice kind of like metallic foiled type of a look to her eyeshadow. Now I'm just going in with the darkest brown shade from that Sultry palette and just deepening up the outer corner just a little bit to give it a bit more dimension. And I'm focusing this very on the outer corner, kind of close to the lash line, and then just up into the crease just a little bit. Now, moving on to foundation, I am using the Kiss Pro Touch foundation. I really like this foundation because it has a really nice natural kind of glow to it. It's not overly dewy, but it's not super matte either. And I find that it just blends out beautifully and looks really natural on the skin and feels very lightweight throughout the day as well. She has beautiful skin, so I honestly didn't have to do a ton of work to her. I'm just now taking my beauty blender and just blending that out a bit. Now for her concealer, I'm just going in with a little bit of the Rimmel Stay Matte Concealer, and I'm just applying that underneath her eyes, and then I apply a little bit down the bridge of her nose, her chin, and a bit onto her forehead, just to kind of give a little bit of a brightening effect to highlight it a little bit. I'm not going in overly contoured or highlighted for this situation, just because she is so naturally beautiful. I want to let her natural beauty shine through. But once that is blended out, I am going to go in with the Smashbox contour sticks just to do a little bit of contouring, just so her face does have a bit more shape and dimension, especially if she's getting photos taken or anything like that that can obviously happen around grad and prom time. These little sticks are some of my favorites because they're so quick and easy and they blend out like a dream. So once that's all nice and blended in with my beauty blender, I then go and make sure everything is nice and set. And to do that, I'm just going in with the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. Now, to make her eyes pop a little bit, I'm going to go in with Wink Luxury Lashes in the style Cocoa, and I'm just going to apply that onto her natural lashes. While her lashes are drying though, I'm just going to contour her cheeks a bit more, just to make them a bit more dramatic. Now, to clean up the contour, I'll just take a little bit of a translucent setting powder. For blush, I'm going to go in with the Benefit Cheek Leader Bronze Palette. I've been loving this palette at the moment. It is so beautiful. So I'm just applying that all over her cheeks and then dusting away that bake. Now, to finish up her eyes, I'm going to take that darkest brown shade again, and I'm just going in with a very flat, small, precise brush, and I'm just smudging that as close to her natural lash line as possible, focusing on the outer corner because I want to keep that nice and dark and try and keep the inner corner as bright and light as possible. To kind of blend it out and smoke it out a little bit, I'm going to go in with the shade Birch from that same palette, and I'm taking it on a little bit of a pencil brush and just gently kind of smoking and blurring out that dark brown shade so it's not as harsh and dramatic. I'm now going back to that highlight shade from that Benefit palette. This is in the shade Cookie, and I absolutely love this shade. I think it is perfect for any kind of like bridal or prom or any kind of special event. It's just like the perfect cool toned highlight shade. Moving on to lips, I'm going to take MAC lip liner in Whirl, and I'm just going to outline her lips with this. Then to fill in her lips, I'm going to go in with the NYX Lip Tease Lip Lacquer in the shade Chic Apparel. And I'm just going to apply this all over her lips, kind of blending it into that darker lip liner shade. And there you go, there is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up so I know to do more client videos.